Hey guys, Legion here. In this video, I will tell you exactly how to play and build the Rover in Wuthering Waves. Rover is an amazing unit, really easy to use, and combos are really not that hard to understand. Deals a good amount of spectral damage to be your main DPS in early game, and then becomes more of a sub-DPS role in the mid to late game. There are a lot of useful things about this character. The outro skill creates a stasis, allowing you to crowd control enemies, putting them all together. And on top of that, being the main character, you can get all their resonance chain maxed out by simply progressing in the game. So overall, a strong character that you can get for free. The only downside I could mention about this character is from being an all-rounder, Rover, the Spectral class, does get outclassed by other characters who specializes in the main DPS or sub-DPS role, but still one of the better choices in the game. Alright, so let's talk about the Rover's gameplay and skills first. I got the tutorial with me here. First off, we got Rover performs up to 4 consecutive basic attacks, dealing spectral damage. For the heavy attack, Rover consumes a little bit of stamina, dealing spectral damage. The heavy attack resonance, after basic attack 3 times or a heavy attack, you can press the basic attack again at the right time to perform a heavy attack resonance, dealing spectral damage. The heavy attack aftertune. After heavy attack resonance or dodge counter hits a target, you can press the basic attack button to perform a heavy attack aftertune, dealing more spectral damage. We also have a mid-air attack. The Rover consumes stamina to perform a mid-air plunging attack, which most characters or every character has. The Rover also has a dodge counter and a parry mechanic, which is very useful. One thing to add is Rover has inherent skills. The first one is dealing damage by Rover's basic attack. Resonating echoes is increased by 60%. And the Rover gains a 15% attack increase for 5 seconds upon casting a heavy attack resonance. So if you time it well, you'll have a nice 15% attack increase for your next combo within 5 seconds. But yeah guys, that is pretty much how to use the Rover following the tutorial here. That is all the combos. Very fun and strong unit. Me personally, I really like the gameplay. I'm at the day 2 of playing the game now, and I'm still using the Rover as my main DPS. And I'm having no problem clearing everything so far. But alright, let's talk about how to build the Rover exactly. So, as you know, the Rover, obviously being a spectral damage dealer, you would like to have the Spectro set. So, the best in slot, you will want to equip the Celestial Light set on them to buff their spectral damage. And if you're able to get the full set, the spectral damage gets an additional buff when they use their intro skill. And now for the main echo you want to use and pair up with the Rover is Morning Aches. Morning Aches will increase the spectral and resonance liberation damage of Rover, which the resonance liberation is the ultimate, and Rover's ult hits like a truck. If you can't build the full set of Celestial Light yet, the second best set I would recommend using is a 2-piece Celestial Light and a 2-piece Lingering Tunes. This set would be the second best in slot for the Rover Spectro, as they still gain a buff to their spectral damage and also their attack. Equipping a 5-piece Lingering Tunes set for Rover, I would not really recommend it since their outro skill does not deal any damage. So instead, you should go for a 2-piece of Celestial Light and a 2-piece Lingering Tunes. But let's say you don't have Lingering Tunes. Well, another option you could use is Moonlit Clouds, which allows you to get an increase in energy regen to get your ult faster. The Rover, her main portion of damage is like a nuke with her ult, which is cracked, so the sooner you get the ult, the better. So energy regen is not a bad thing at all on her. Okay, the main stats you want to go on these are generally crit damage, crit rate first, then spectral damage with some attack percent. You want the Rover to be dishing out as much damage as possible, The substats should look something like this. You do crit rate, crit damage first, then you try to get attack percentage, then skill damage and liberation damage last. And if you also manage to land on flat attack and energy regen, that is also not a bad substat to have for her as well. But let's be honest, as long as our rolls don't go on HP and defense, we are going to be happy. But that is the order I would prioritize my stats. You do want to build as much crit rate and damage first, then attack percent. For early game though, you don't have to worry too much about this. I would say try to stack as much attack as possible on the Rover for early game, and this will do the job for you for now. Now the weapons I want to talk about for Rover, the best in slot is going to be Emerald of Genesis. This is simply the best weapon by a huge margin, simply because it is a 5-star weapon. That means that it provides the most damage compared to the other weapons currently, because all the other weapons are 4 stars, so it makes sense. Not only does Emerald of Genesis have a stacking attack buff, but it also increases the Rover's energy regen, which really helps with what I said earlier about the Rover having a really strong ultimate. But not to worry if you do not have the 5-star weapon or pulled on the 5-star weapon just yet. There are a lot of other 4-star options. The main one is Commando of Convictions. Then we have Lunar Cutter, Lumbing Gloss, and Sword number 18. You can see here all the damage differences of each weapon at rank 1, with Commando of Conviction being the second best weapon for the Rover, with the Lunar Cutter not too far behind. The good news is the Commando of Conviction can be selected for free with a 4-star weapon selector, so everyone can get that at the start of the game. If you did not use that yet and you want to use the Rover, I would recommend picking up this weapon. Alright, let's talk about team setups real quick. It is not too complicated at all. Rover is a jack of all trades. She can fit perfectly in any team. In early game, you want to use her more as a main DPS. And if you're still new at the game and don't have any other character to use, Yang Yang and Rover are actually a really good combo together. Especially for early game, you'll be fine with those two in a team with a healer. And then once you get to mid to late game, she's going to become a good sub DPS for pretty much any team into mid and end game content. So you don't have to worry about team combos. As long as you have a good main DPS and a healer, doesn't matter who, the Rover can fit right in. Alright, before I wrap this up, I'm going to talk about the skill priority real quick, because a lot of you guys don't want to waste the resources on things that are less valuable. So I'm going to show you guys exactly which is the highest priority skill that you should upgrade first. A large portion of her damage is the ultimate, so this ability should be upgraded first. And then the second thing I would recommend going for is the Rover's 4th Circuit. It will increase the damage of the Resonating Spin, the Resonating Whirl, and the Resonating Echoes. Very important. After that, we have the Basic Attack. The Basic Attack is also high priority to upgrade due to its improving a lot of Rover's abilities. And then you can upgrade the skill. And then the last thing I would prioritize when upgrading the Rover's skill is the intro at last. But yeah guys, that concludes the quick and easy guide on how to build and play Rover. Feel free to like the video and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. I'm going to try to cover a lot about this game. And now since I just started playing, I had to get into it first. I took a 2-day just to grind this game, to understand as much knowledge about the game as possible, and to get the best gameplay possible. But yeah guys, starting now, I'm going to be pumping out videos, guides, gameplay, boss fights. But that is all for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you all in the next one.